Hey guys, welcome to the latest edition of the Muir Reflection. John from the John Muir Show here. And we've gotten a lot of really priceless moments that have come from the 2020 Democrat presidential primary debates that have been held thus far. I mean, there has been plenty of absurdity coming from it. No shortage of absolutely absurd claims that have been made. But the most absurd, the most outrageous of the claims that we've heard thus far came from failed U.S. Senate candidate and fake Mexican one Robert Francis Beto O'Rourke. Of course, it was a month and a half ago, roughly, that O'Rourke mentioned at one of the Democrat debates that he was going to be proud to take AR-15s and AK-47s from all of the law-abiding citizens here in the United States of America. He said it proudly. Yeah, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15s, says the fake Mexican Beto. So that was definitely the most absurd moment that's come. Since then, of course, there's been a lot of pushback on O'Rourke's comments. Turns out, yeah, there are a lot of folks in the United States of America that don't want to give up their guns if they're a law-abiding, gun-owning citizen. And even a lot of folks who don't own guns are saying, yeah, you know what, it's probably not a good idea if we have this guy running for president saying that he has no problem of depriving law-abiding citizens of their most basic constitutional rights. So Beto has rightfully received a lot of pushback for his comments. Since then, he's tried to walk it back a bit. He's tried to elaborate on what he said. Most recently, Beto was asked, so, hey, this plan that you got about taking the guns from all the people, how exactly is it you're going to fund the buyback that you're talking about? And of course, it is not a buyback. The government never owned these guns, so the government cannot buy back something it never owned. This is not a gun buyback. No, what Beto and his friends are proposing, that is mandatory gun confiscation. Make no mistake about it. But anyway, Beto goes saying that, oh, my buyback program will be funded because I'm just going to put additional costs on various gun manufacturers in the United States. Companies that manufacture AR-15s, AK-47s, we're just going to take some of their money. Okay, hold on one second. This is wrong on multiple levels for obvious reasons, but for the sake of this conversation, to keep this video at a reasonable length, I'll just focus on the one point at hand here. So Beto's trying to claim that taxpayers won't have to suffer under this plan with the mandatory buybacks of guns. You do realize, Beto, and I'm sure you do, because you're not as stupid as you seem. You actually do know what's going on. You're just being horribly disingenuous about all this. If you decide to say, hey, gun companies, gun manufacturers, we're going to take some of your money, well, guess what they're going to do? They're going to pass those costs on to the consumer. So, those law-abiding, tax-paying citizens whose constitutional rights you're violating, you're going to end up screwing them over again anyway, because if they do want to, as a law-abiding, tax-paying, gun-owning U.S. citizen, purchase another gun, guess what? The gun is going to cost a lot more money because these gun manufacturers are going to have to up the costs of all their guns to compensate for the fact that the government, under Beto, is now taking money away from them. So in the end of the day, it's going to be the average citizens, the ones who want to lawfully own a gun, that are going to get punished anyway. And again, I will just remind you, this entire thing, because it's not just Beto, there are so many folks on the left, Eric Swalwell, a bunch of their friends, who it's clear their desire is to disarm the law-abiding population. This is not, I repeat, this is not about trying to end mass shootings in the United States of America. It would be impossible to ensure that there will never be another mass shooting in the United States of America. So that is not what it's about, contrary to what Beto and all of his friends will disingenuously claim. No, this is not about ending mass shootings. This is about Beto and his friends in the Democrat Party trying to disarm the law-abiding population. And I'll remind you once more, the time to fight for your most basic rights, it is not after those rights have been taken away from you. It is now, because once your most basic rights have been taken away from you, it is incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to get them back. So now, folks, is the time to push back on these gun-grabbing lefties like Beto. That's all the time that we have for today. John Muir Show, each and every weekday, 8:40 a.m. WTAQ, 9 a.m. WSAU and WHBL. Till next time, I'm out.